Going to do an insight video today. I've talked a lot about the last couple of days about transformation and like ushering in new energies and new consciousness and new frequencies. And each being and each of us that are here now are here for that reason. That's our purpose, is to raise consciousness within this reality, within this time, this age. And each and every one of us, this is our purpose, that we become conscious that we're one, that we're sort of infinite beings of consciousness and creation, and that we're all sort of connected with to source and the eternal moment and the now moment. And each and every one of our purposes is to awaken to that and know that we, each and every one of us, are a creator within our own creation. Each and every one of us are a conscious being, and that each and every one of us are here for that reason, here now. And this is what the universal teachers and the infinite beings and angels and ascended masters and all beings are here. They're here to sort of align us to understand that each and every one of us is not separate. Each and every one of us are part of a whole. The infinite source energy, the infinite source vibration and frequency, and then each and every one of us are connected to that. We're not separate. And this is the notion of what many people talk about, like dimensional experience and like heaven on earth. And they say about like the third dimension, which is the out there reality, which is the physical reality. Then you've got the fourth dimension, which is all about transformation and transmutation, which is like starting to realize that you have a choice that you can create within the now moment, that you can use your frequency and your consciousness to align and shift and change reality. But all reality shifts and change from within, not out. So it's this understanding that when you shift from the third dimension to the fourth dimension, that all creation is within you, works through you, as you, and for you, and the understanding that you are the source of creation, and there's nothing happening outside of you. All creation um, happens within, and this is the understanding of when you start to go within, and this is the starting point of like the universal laws. When you sort of like the universal law of correspondence, which is this understanding that what you create within is also it then vibrates in a frequency and reflects and mirrors the external. So whatever's created within, it's mirrored in the outer reality. The outer and the inner reality are the same. They're one. They're connected. They're not separate. So this is how you sort of start to become more conscious within your reality, and in the now moment is that you create from within, and what you create from within is then what becomes the reality outside, and you become your own energy frequency, your energy vibration, and you understand that your consciousness is what's creating your reality. So the more that you're conscious by creating things that more of what you are within your reality, the more that it creates the external reality. And you know that they're both connected, as they all are. The third, fourth, fifth, sixth dimension, they're all part of the same source vibration, source frequency. They're all part of the same oneness and the same eternal now moment. Um, and also the infinity symbol, the horizontal eight, tells you this, that the cycle of creation is ever evolving and ever shifting and changing as you change through your consciousness and through your awareness. And the more that you shift and change your consciousness, the more you shift and change your reality. And you know this, each being knows this through your infinite self. And this is part of the shifting and the changing collectively for many of us. And it is collective. It's not like there is an individual shift for each and every one of us, but the individual shift is becoming aware and becoming conscious within your own reality, and knowing that you, or each and every one of you, has a creator within each and every one of your vibration, your frequency, your energy. Each and every one of you are a creator of your own creation. And you start to realize this, and this is the shifting. And this is why I've been talking within this series about the now moment, and I've been talking about consciousness and creation, and I've been talking about shifting, and I've been talking about the I am presence, because I feel this is the energy that's coming through for many of us, is that we start to shift and we start to walk as conscious beings and conscious creators within each of our reality. And I feel this is what the infinite beings and the collective and the councils and all beings that are working with us are trying to shift and check and align with us. You talk about other sort of like civilizations where people talk about like Lemuria and they talk about Atlantis. They all knew this. They all know that consciously that we were all beings that were always connected. Just because we're in a physical body, we are not disconnected from the infinite. The infinite is still with us. It's the essence. It's our true nature, and each and every one of us are awakening to this. And this is like the what people say is like a um, I started a group a long time ago on Facebook, and I was getting some information, and the sort of group was called like Atlantis Reclaimed, and that was like again like this Atlantis Reclaimed is again the understanding that the knowledge has always been there, the wisdom has always been there. It's just that the reclaiming bit was the consciousness, the awareness that that it's always been there and that it's available always. And when we start to realize that, we reclaim this wisdom, this vibration, this frequency in each and every one of our realities, and we start to then shift and change our reality into a more conscious and spiritual reality, and a more conscious reality of pure creation and pure consciousness. And we start to realize this, and we start to walk as these beings. And we see there's no limitation. We see there's infinite potential. There always has been, and there always will be, because there is no there is no sort of a limitation, but there's also no beginning and no end to consciousness and creation. It's an ever evolving thing. But there's always there again this notion of like infinite selves, and the notion of like personal power, that we have a choice within that now moment, within this infinite now moment, that each and every one of us can create, and we create within that infinite now moment. So what that means by that is that there's no time, there's no limitation. You've always got the now moment. So it's like this notion of past, present, and future. In a sense, that's only a physical thing, and like within our physical minds. But really, in the now moment, there's always just the now moment, and the now moment sort of consciousness and energy and vibration and frequency. And whatever we create in that now moment then becomes our reality. So there is no past, present, or future. There is only presence, and the presence of the understanding that within this moment is all creation, and everything is available in this now moment, in that infinite frequency that is here now. And each and every one of us, when we start to align with that and connect into that, we know that when we center and come into our vibration, our creator, that with everything we can create what we have a choice in that moment. And each and every one of us can shift and transform and transmutate anything, as long as we're conscious. When we're not conscious, and we become attached or entangled to something outside of ourselves, then we become separate. We become separate from our true nature, from our consciousness, from our awareness. And when we become separate, that's when we feel like we're disconnected, but we never are. We're always evolving, we're always shifting, and we're always changing. And this is why it's important to practice and align with the now moment, and use this uh, infinite frequency, this pure consciousness and creation, as a tool for our reality, for our lives, so we can live more consciously. Everything is about being conscious. Consciousness creates reality. It also creates vibration. It creates energy. It aligns. It opens us up as a channel to receive information, insight, wisdom. It allows our infinite selves to align with the infinite dimensions, the infinite realities, the infinite vibrations and frequencies that are available in many different realities. And this is how, and like many people describe us as being multi-dimensional. Well, we're multi-dimensional because we've got access to infinite vibrations and frequencies, and infinite consciousness, and infinite awareness. And as we open up our energies and we become more channels, then we start to see that. We start to see that we are the center of our own universe. We are the center of our own creation. We are the center of our own reality. And all of that comes from us. And again, this is why I've been talking about the now moment. I've been talking about consciously creating. I've been talking about living from within, because source is within. It is what we are. It's everything we are. And when you get to that stage where you start to align with it, I mean, I have moments where I meditate, and it just become a light. It looks like the physical body integrates, and it sort of aligns within a light frequency, a light energy, a vibration, and the body dissolves into that, and it just becomes pure energy. And each and every one of us are that at our essence, and it's about sort of shifting past the human perspective to see that we are infinite. We are not just a human form. We are infinite conscious beings of creation, and we are always aligned. We're always connected. We are never separate. Well, that's the insight for today. Please comment, like, subscribe. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you soon.